Can we give a round of applause to every single person who has shared their story on this stage and underscore the importance of this work? My name is Sarah McBride, and this past November, I had the privilege of getting elected by my neighbors to represent the great state of Delaware in the United States House of Representatives. Now, I hoped to be entering a Congress that was continuing the good work that my colleagues and I were doing in the Delaware State Senate. I hoped to be entering a Congress that was guaranteeing quality health care to every patient. I hoped to be entering a Congress that was providing quality, affordable child care to every family. I hoped to be entering a Congress that was guaranteeing paid family and medical leave for every worker. But I don't have to tell you all that that is not the Congress that I have entered. When I ran, thank you, I appreciate your apologies and condolences. When I ran for Congress, I said I would work with anyone who was willing to work with me to help my constituents, but I would stand up to anyone who I believed was hurting my constituents. And that is why we are all here today. We are here to fight for the person who's living paycheck to paycheck. We're here to fight for the family who relies on SNAP. We're here to fight for the patient who gets life-saving treatment covered by Medicaid. And your dedication, your determination is on full display. Because my colleagues on the Democratic side in the House, and every single person here, and so many beyond this crowd, we are ready to show up and fight rain or shine. We are ready to fight day and night. And throughout this reconciliation process, we've had to show up many nights. And listen, I'm not someone who typically complains about process. But this process has been so appalling. This process has been so rushed that we cannot but help call it out. Night after night, Republicans have been negotiating behind closed doors and passing their heartless slash and burn budget every step of the way without the view of the American people. And we know why they are doing this in the dead of night. We know why they are rushing this budget through. It's because they do not want the American people to see what is in this budget. But we will not let them get away with it. We are sounding the alarm about this reverse Robin Hood budget, a budget that steals from the poorest in our country to give tax handouts to the wealthiest in our country. A budget that would result in the largest cut in food assistance in our country's history. A budget that would result in the largest cut in Medicaid in American history and the single greatest evisceration of health care ever. This is a budget that imports the worst part of the private healthcare system. Needless bureaucracy and excessive paperwork into the Medicaid program in an effort to push people off the rolls, all to just partially pay for tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. This is a budget that imposes a tax on working people, a tax on patients, creating new out-of-pocket expenses, breaking the foundational promise of this president's campaign to lower costs for working people. And I see many folks here from Planned Parenthood. This is a budget that contains a backdoor abortion ban. This is a budget that would close down family planning clinics across this country, including rural communities, threatening critical Medicaid funding if they dare provide the full range of reproductive health care to their patients. This is a heartless budget. This is a cruel budget. It is a chaotic budget. And we know that lives are on the line in this moment. Just a couple of weeks ago, one of my constituents, Caroline, came into my office. She has many rare medical conditions. She's covered by Medicaid. and she is able to gain treatment and care that allows her to live. And early in this process, Caroline looked at me in the eyes, and she said, "Without Medicaid, I will die." This is not just a deadly and dangerous proposal. This is a moral failing. And we are here because this is the fight of our time. To protect care, to protect food assistance, to protect workers, to protect retirees, to protect families, to protect Americans of all backgrounds. People who voted against this president in the last election, and yes, to protect people who voted for this president in the last election and who do not like what they are seeing. We are here for everyone. Not major corporations, not billionaires, but working people. Those folks who are living paycheck to paycheck. People like Caroline who need Medicaid to live. And my colleagues and I, we will vote as many times as it takes against this budget. My colleagues in the Senate on the Democratic side will vote as many times as it takes on this budget to say hell no. And if it gets through and gets to the president's desk and becomes the law of the land, all of us will be voting those who voted yes out come Election Day. This doesn't end here. And we know that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. Thank you all very much.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This administration has been taking a chainsaw to the things that we all hold dear: health care,